Here are the basics on how to forge a scroll. This is how you put your piece into the fire versus how not to. The further down you go, the more oxygen there is in the fire, and that will burn and oxidize your piece. The first step to this scroll is forge it down to a taper while keeping the width, and it's always nice to tidy up the end of the scroll. You're looking for something like this. On the far side of your anvil closest to the bick you should have a little radius. Now you need to use the hammer like a paintbrush and push that material down over the radius there until you get a nice little curve that looks like this. Next you're going to hit it from the back like this and rotate it as you're hitting it. It's important to keep the piece moving. Once I'm happy with that section, I can move on, push the piece out like this, put a little curve on the horn of the anvil, and now I can tap it down. And you can always use scrolling tongs like this to make any adjustments. Another option to tighten up the inside of your scroll is to knock it off center like this, and then you can get all access from any point with your hammer. And then it's very easy to flatten it back down. You can also use 2 pairs of scrolling tongs like this to remove any straight spots. From this position the hammer movement is right, but the heat is in the wrong place. I've reheated the scroll, but I've quenched where I don't want to move, and I can just tap it down to sort that out. And by simply lifting up the scroll, I can knock this section down, and now I have the shape I want. Add more shape down along the scroll by using the hardy hole like this. One last adjustment. There's some tips and tricks on how to forge a ribbon scroll. Check your smoke alarm.